Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Polygon Matic. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, we still have the same Fibonacci retracement set up from the swing high we printed in December 2021 and the swing low we printed in June 2021. We retested the 1.414 extension fib, which was at 33.5 cents. And since then, we've been doing great with this rally, with this uptrend. But as all channel up patterns, or most of them, we end up with a pullback, or we end up losing the support of the channel, and that's exactly what happened over here. And we're trying to find our next support area. So we were in another channel up pattern, as you can see, on a smaller scale, but we ended up invalidating it, and this was actually a bull flag. So you can see that we do have this pullback, this strong move to the downside, after which we started printing a channel up pattern. Now, to invalidate a channel up pattern, you need to break above the resistance and hold the previous resistance as support. So as long as we don't come back into the pattern and we just bounce off the resistance, we're good to go. Because usually, like I said, we do drop down from these channel up patterns. That is not what happened in this case. So with this bull flag, we take the pole and we place it at the point of breakout. So we're going to be looking at roughly, place it like that. There we go. So we are going to be roughly looking at $1.18, which is the previous resistance here that we retested in April this year. And that is going to be our target as of right now. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be met in a few days. It's going to take some time. There also is another really important trading range here that we're just retesting right now. So this range over here is being retested, and we lost it as support back in June, and we're coming up to retest it as a resistance, and we're probably going to see a retracement from there, which is what I'm hoping for. So coming back to this blue support block is going to be very important. Between 75.5 cents down to 69 cents. That is when you can, or that is where you can start building your position. Right now, I would say probably just wait a little bit, because we are overextended. You can see the distance in between the price action and the 20 MA, and it also looks like we're about to print a bullish cross here. The 20 EMA is about to cross the 55 EMA in a few days. If that happens, that's a really good signal on the daily chart, but during a bear market, these things don't really mean that we're going to be in a very long uptrend, because you can see that the last time we had this bullish cross was back in January 2023, and it lasted for approximately a month or so. And we can potentially do the same thing here or actually 2 months. It was 2 months because we had the bearish cross in March, and we can do the exact same thing here where we print this bullish cross in July, and we end up peaking out sometime at the end of August or maybe in September. After that, we do see another pullback. So maybe we get to $1.18 by September, by August, who knows? But this is our target at the moment. And if we come back down into the flag or into the channel up pattern, then the target is invalidated and the bull flag is invalidated. At that point, we're just going to be in this channel. So you have your support block. Obviously, if we see a capitulation, you drop below the blue support block. You have a few support levels here. So you have 63 cents and you have 60.5. So these are the levels that you want to be looking at in terms of setting up the buy limit orders in advance, if you want to do that, of course. Obviously, he did have this amazing buying opportunity here in June with this wick taking us down to 50 cents, which was incredible. An incredible entry point, and we're up right now 56.8% from that trade. So you could have done a 50% trade with this high cap altcoin in a bear market. That is how money is made. It's not very hard to trade, guys. You just have to get used to it. You just have to understand how how the charts work, when to buy, when to sell. If you're a newcomer and you're just learning about this space, I would say try to avoid trading, just buy at low prices and don't try to guess where the price is going to go, because you can't guess. You're never going to be able to guess the next move. Taking a look at the daily RSI, we did briefly get to the overbought here, and then we saw a pullback afterwards. So maybe we're going to see a potential bounce from this, off of this pink trend line. So maybe look at entries over here at around about the RSI of 53. From there, we might see a short-term bounce or even a move to the upside, a second leg or the next leg to the upside. But when you were sitting down here, as you can see, obviously that was the best time to be accumulating, because as always, once you're below the index of 30 on the RSI, that is when you want to be buying in. You broke above this resistance level, you had a nice back test of support, and off you went. So now we broke up above another resistance level. We want to back test this as support. So if you don't have any Polygon Matic and you want to be buying in for the long term and you really want to buy in right now, I would say fine, you can do that. I'm not going to be doing that myself because there are other altcoins that I'm looking at, and Polygon Matic is not going to do 100x for you. From 80 cents, you're potentially looking at a 10x, maybe a 12 to 13x from these prices over here. And long term, what we're also looking at is breaking above the golden ratio, which is at $1.13.5. That's going to be our major target come September. If we're able to do that and we're even able to get back into this channel up pattern, that would be amazing. But we'll see what happens. We're not going to speculate too much on what may or may not happen. However, I do want to switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, you can see that we are printing a higher low. This is very good to see from a technical perspective, because this shows demand and support, and this shows that the buyers are not going to let the price drop back down to this low. Unlike with some other altcoins where the price has retraced back below this June 2022 low and we're just dumping and dumping. That's not the case here with Polygon Matic. So the price chart is looking very good on the weekly chart. You can see that the volume isn't dead, but there is some volume, and we're just trying to break above this block. So this was our support block in 2021, in 2022, in 2023, but unfortunately we lost it over here in June 2023, just like we lost it briefly in May 2022. But right now we're trying to break above it. However, from what I can see is this is just a basic back test of resistance, because if you take a look at this ascending support trend line that we had, so you had a few back tests of support here, then you lost it in June. You're coming up for a back test of resistance, you retest the 20 MA, you retest the trend line as resistance, and back down you go. So your immediate support down here, your important level of support to hold is going to be 61 cents or the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level. And this Fibonacci is set up with the bear market bottom printed in July or June 2022 and the all-time high printed in December 2021. So we have the 0.5 sitting at $1.04 and the 0.618 sitting at $1.33. That is going to be our major target come August or September. So you can see that both fibs have the golden ratio roughly in the same area, roughly at $1.33. Taking a look at some of the oscillators here, you can see you had a massive buying opportunity while you were in this red support block. And we set this up before we dropped down because you can see we had this trading range here in 2022, which we did break out of, and now eventually we came back down into it. We grabbed some liquidity here. So this RSI support block was very important. And if you compare that to the price action, this is basically where you dipped here in June and in at the end of May. And this is where you should have been accumulating if you were looking to buy for the long term, and if you were looking for a short to mid-term trade. This is where I would be looking at purchasing some Polygon Matic. Taking a look at the stochastic, you can see that we're already recovering from the oversold, and the past few times this happened, we had a massive move to the upside and we got overbought pretty quickly. Or not pretty quickly, but I would say it took us a few months. For example, you look at the last June and August, you were sitting at the bottom here in June and you topped out early August. The same thing could be happening here. I know these arrows are very disgusting. I don't know, that's not how I draw in real life. In real life, it's actually way worse. So based on the stochastic, you're still good to buy for the long term. Like I said, 80 cents is not the worst price to be getting into the project. Obviously, 50 cents or 60 cents is better, but you get what you get. If you don't want to enter right now, you're willing to wait, you're willing to take that risk. I would say wait until you drop below this support block, and then you can start entering from 70 cents and below that. So that is pretty much everything I have for the Polygon Matic chart. Our bull market target is going to be here at $10.12. We have a massive resistance level we need to get above. Once we do that, and once we have the volume indicator confirm that, we are potentially looking at a massive breakout here into 2024. Until that happens, feel free to accumulate, guys. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what are your thoughts on Polygon Matic. I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.